Guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Dubai. This is season 2 and I think episode 9. But I could be wrong, but it'll be correct down below. But let's get into it. Y'all know sometimes before we get into it, we get a little spicy. And all I got to talk about is this situation between Caroline Brooks and Rafi, or allegedly Rafi's Talene's husband. So the other day I was on Twitter and I saw her post, and she posted this gif saying Megamind has a doppelganger, hashtag RHO Dubai. And she used a gif of Megamind. I assumed she was talking about Ayan. So I was just like, if Ayan want to say something, more than likely she will say something. She not scared of Brooks and Brooks ain't scared of her. But then I saw Brooks make mention about Talene's husband, and I was like, where did that come from? Well, when I went back to her Twitter page, she had a screenshot of a screenshot. So a page called The Bone In screenshotted what Brooks said about Megamind having a doppelganger and captioned it by saying Brooks. Okay, it says Brooks the bully. No, Brooks the drunk bully, aka the trash, and it was like a trash emoji. So then Brooks took a screenshot of that and quote tweeted and say, "Oops, someone's husband used their real account in a post about me. Tread lightly, riffraff. If you want to talk about who is trash, we can." So I was like, oh, I automatically thought about Rafi. Because compared to everybody else's husband, the only person we know be getting in the mix is Sergio. But Sergio ain't afraid to use his account. So next thing you know, then Brooks said this: Talene, get your husband before I get my ex-husband. Don't ever comment and call me trash, Rafi. Focus on the things that concern you and your thirsty wife. Don't F with me, okay? I'm not the one. I spared your wife at the reunion and didn't mention what Dre said about her. Hashtag RHO Dubai. That's where you were wrong, Brooks. Why you sparing people at the reunion? Especially if they are coming at you, girl. But then again, I can understand, like, if you're friends with somebody and you don't want to take it there. But if we fighting, we fighting. It's only certain people that I will hold my tongue for. And I mean, like, if they're at the point where they are going at each other like this, what's the point of protecting that person? So then she continued by saying, I'm a drunk bully. Shall we talk about your wife's state of mind throughout the season? You really are pushing me. I was being nice to you guys lately and not engaging. Don't try me, okay? And I got to give her credit for that, because here lately, since they took that little break and with that episode and this episode, I hadn't really seen between the past 2 weeks Brooke say anything in reference to Talene. In all honesty, she been giving her smoke more to Ayan than anybody, especially after the reunion. She really didn't even mention Talene like that. So if she really feels like I've been keeping it cute, don't try me. Don't try me. And then she finished it off by saying this: when they get away with it the first time, it gives them fuel to carry on. No words. These men are getting very bold, and any female who tries to gaslight me and defend his actions when he's the first to speak on me and call me out my name and threaten me, shame on you. Hashtag RHO Dubai. And I have to agree with her with that part. I never get why the girls get mad when the women attack the men, or like the husbands on the show. Because I'm like, if your husband gonna get in it, that means it's fair game. That's why I oftentimes think, like, husbands shouldn't get into a situation unless you can tell, like, it's about to get physical or things go way, way left. And when it came to the situation between Talene and Brooks and Lisa and Rafi, I really feel like had he just let the argument stay between Brooks and Talene, I don't think it would have got the way it got. Because the only reason Lisa came over there is because Lisa felt like it was 2 against 1. And then it blew up, and then you had Rafi talking about these. I don't care about these cameras. These don't know me. And then Talene out there with that cigarette. Girl, F you. That was a good scene, though. So I'm with her. Like, you can't tell people how to defend themselves. Even if you think it's obnoxious or out of pocket or people are doing too much or they shouldn't respond to things. Like, if you're not that person. And I do it too. I normally be like, I don't know why she responded to that. Like, I don't know why she said that. But I'm not that person feeling those emotions. So I think it is what it is. But let's get into this review. I'm in a better mood today. So this might be a different review. So the episode opens up where it left off, where the ladies are still in Bali and it's Lisa's night and she wants all the women to wear these traditional Balinese, is it Balinesian? I'm making up words. Traditional Bali attire. And she got them all outfits from this designer called Suck Dick. I don't know. The way Ayan was saying, it sounded like Suck Dick, but I think his name is Suck Dick. I don't know. But pretty much Ayan and Lisa really liked their outfits, but the rest of the women really didn't like it. So the evil stepsisters said they wasn't going. Now, mind you, I had to laugh at that because that is what I called them in my last review with the way that they were acting. But I just thought it was funny that Talene said, oh, we're like the evil stepsisters and Caroline's the evil stepmother. And Brooks is like, don't say that. It's going to make her feel bad. I thought that was hilarious. So Sarah, Lisa, and Ayan go to dinner, and they're waiting, trying to figure out where the rest of the girls are, and they're like, I think Sarah said, yeah, like, where are they? Like, why are they not coming? So then we actually see Sarah FaceTime Brooks, and Brooks pretty much was like, I have a dress, it doesn't have buttons. And then Sarah was like, my dress doesn't have buttons either, I still put it on. And she was like, well, Talene and Stanberry didn't like their dresses, so we not coming. And Lisa felt some type of way because she felt like it was disrespectful. And honestly, it was. They could have told her, like, hey, we don't feel comfortable in these outfits. We don't want to attend, but thanks for inviting us. But to not show up is very rude, in all honesty. But then we have another piece from Brooks where Brooks was like, they did this on purpose. Because I was in the car with Ayan and Lisa looking at the outfits, and like she sent her measurements to the designer, but nobody else's. And I told her I didn't like that dress. And honestly, the dress wasn't too bad, but I do understand not wanting to wear something you don't feel comfortable in. Lisa, while they're at the dinner, actually ends up saying that she overheard Talene talk, like walking out of her room, talking about, I hate this dress, it's so ugly. So I'm like, you knew they didn't like their outfits, Lisa. So I feel like you should have known they might pull this childish move and not come. But she ends up saying like, they only gonna wear something if it got labels on it and blah, blah, blah. And that could be true. And then Ayan is like, it's so disrespectful, they should have came. And even Saba and Sarah are like, yeah, we didn't like our outfits either. Sarah was like, have you seen me in the outfit? It's not very flattering. I don't really like it. But while that was happening, the other girls were at the house or at the hotel having fun. You know, Brooks and Stanberry end up squashing their beef for the time being, whereas Stanberry says she missed Brooks and she was like, you know, when you're evil, and when you're fun, you're fun. But Brooks corrected her, and I like that Brooks told her, girl, you liked me when my evil wasn't directed towards you. And Stanberry was like, yeah, I did. You know? She was like, this is the Brooks that I like. They even started mimicking each other. They started doing Brooks. Stanberry and Talene did Brooks. Then Talene and Brooks did Stanberry. It was funny to me. It was actually quite funny to me. So they were eating, they end up ordering food from the actual hotel. The food at both places, like the hotel and the restaurant the other ladies were at, looked really nice. Like, it looked like it was good. So I was like, I don't think anybody lost out on anything, to be honest. You know, the food still looks good. So then while the other ladies are sitting down in the den area eating, they're like, girl, we got to be ready because they're going to be mad at us. And Brooks is like, girl, I'm about to get it the worst. And so they also talk about how Ayan and Stanberry's relationship and how it is and how it's fractured. And Stanberry's just like, girl, she is really mad at me. She is very angry with me. And I'm like, I don't get the energy. And so I think Brooks was the one that mentioned that, like, it's kind of crazy that when you fall out, we make up. And that is true. When Stanberry falls out with Ayan, Brooks is able to make up with her. And I guess when Ayan and Lisa fall out, Lisa and Brooks become cool. It's just like a triangle, a four square of hell. The way everything is going. So we end up seeing the other girls come back from the restaurant. Talene, Brooks, and Stanberry are actually having a lot of fun at the hotel. They're mimicking each other. They are eating their food in the den area. And then they realize the other girls have just come home. So they're like, okay, get your guns ready. It's about to go down. So next thing you know, they come in. Brooks is like, oh, y'all look beautiful. Ayan said, and y'all look basic. Ayan was not playing with them. She was irritated. She was upset, okay? That was an upset lady right there. So she comes and sits down, and Ayan is like, why weren't y'all there? Like, just get straight to the point. Why weren't y'all there? And Brooke said something about like not wanting to go because of her dress. Then Talene was like, I didn't feel comfortable in the outfit. Now, what I will say is, Ayan, I think, put too much on it because like Talene was trying to speak and Ayan was not letting her breathe. Ayan was not, to the point where Talene was like, girl, can I talk? But then you have Ayan referring to Talene as that bird, that loudest bird in Africa again. And Saba and Sarah end up having to explain to Talene what Ayan meant because Talene was like, what do you mean? And the way production was shady because her face was like, when they morphed the other picture beside it, and she was like, what? And they laughed at it. So then Ayan still is irritated, and she said something about like the outfit that Talene has on is basic, it's giving Dollar Tree, when y'all could have been in some nice garments. And so Talene is like, does the dollar store even exist in Dubai? Like, I don't even think that's there. But then we find out that, yes, they do have a dollar store in Dubai. And I would like to see the difference. Like, you know, I know there's probably, like, a lot of different things that are in there compared to our, like, Dollar Trees and dollar stores. But, like, I think it's always interesting that, like, you can have a Dollar Tree in one part of town and then a Dollar Tree in another, and one will have better stuff than the other. Because I know in our area, we have one that is, like, way bigger, and they have more options and more things in there for you to choose from. So I wonder, is it the same? Like, are there like really nice things in like the dollar store in Dubai? So sorry y'all, I don't know why it is itching right here. Okay. So next thing you know, Ayan gets really frustrated with Stanberry. Now, one thing I do enjoy about Brooks is the same thing I enjoyed about Candy from Real Housewives of Atlanta, is they both gonna eat. Brooks over there putting like salt or something. Someone asked her on Twitter what was she eating. She said oxtail soup. Girl, I would have ate that too. I wouldn't have cared what they was arguing about because it's good soup. And she putting salt or pepper in the soup. Then while they arguing, she eating, looking around, slurping. I would have did the same. If y'all not gonna yell at me and I can eat, I'm fine. And even if you yelling at me while I'm eating, I'm still gonna eat. But I just enjoy that about both ladies, because I used to hate when housewives wouldn't eat on camera, and I'm like, do you got an eating disorder? Or are you just like very self-conscious about like how much food you consume? Because girl, eat. Because I'm gonna eat. So next thing you know, Ayan gets really mad at Stanberry, talking about why didn't you come? Why would you isolate? Da da da. And I'm looking at Ayan like, how are you getting on her about not attending an event when you did the same thing the first night? You didn't come out to the club with everybody when you got called out. And now you're trying to chastise her, and you were standing over her like, put your finger pointed. And Stanberry was like, girl, I didn't think you would care. Like, you've been giving me your ass to kiss since the whole situation. She was like, when I tried to speak to you at the waterfall event, you basically paid me dust. And that's actually true. You did pay her dust. So I would be under the same impression as Stanberry, like, you don't like me right now anyway, so why is me not going to dinner that big of a deal? Like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. You know what I mean? And I was just looking at Ayan like, why are you so heated? But then I kind of started to think, like someone said on Twitter, it's given that Ayan was performing for Lisa. Like, you know, she already messed up with the voice note, that now she's trying to like overcompensate, because it didn't make sense why she was so like amped by this situation. Like, yes, was it disrespectful that they didn't go to the dinner and they didn't tell them? Yeah, it was. Like, it's nothing for you to text somebody and be like, hey, I don't like my dress. I don't really feel comfortable going. Thanks for inviting me anyway. I'm going to stay at the room, and call it a day. But to not show up, and it was stupid. Like, you could have went there. It's a dress, girl. It's a dress. But I just felt like Ayan's energy was just like, it was misappropriate. Like, nah. is it like I don't know, misdirected? Well, I don't know because it was who she was directing it to. I understood, and I think it was right, but I think the level of like that's what it is. The level of how angry she was acting didn't fit. Like you could have checked them without being like standing up and going off on Stanberry when it's like she's right. You have been paying her dust, so why should it matter? She actually has a reason why she shouldn't go, to be honest. So then Lisa chimes in and basically says like we just like wanted y'all to come. Like I just felt like it was disrespectful. Y'all didn't tell us, and it would have been nice for you to tell us and come because we had a lovely time. So then Talene felt compelled to apologize. So she apologized to Lisa and she apologized and got up and hugged Ayan. And then because she apologized, Brooks decided to apologize to Lisa, but Stanberry didn't say nothing. Stanberry was like, girl, I don't care. That's one thing I can give Stanberry. If she don't care, she don't care. If she feel the way she feels, she feel the way she feel. It is what it is. And so Sarah was like, it's good that like Brooks and Talene were able to apologize, but she was like, I don't expect much from Stanberry. And then she also was like, if Stanberry apologizes to you, I'd be weary because that probably means she plotting. You might be right. So then we have this scene with Talene and Brooks where they actually talk to each other. So we had Brooks and Stanberry talking and squashing their issues. Now you got Brooks and Talene doing the same thing. And it was nice because they genuinely looked like they were having fun. Like they were running around the place. They were jumping on the bed. Talene says she missed Brooks. Brooks says she missed her. And they squashed it. And then I thought it was funny when Ayan knocked on the door and they both hid under the table. Like it seemed genuine. It didn't seem forced. It didn't seem performative. It seemed genuine on both women's side that they genuinely missed each other. And I hate that I keep saying genuine, but it just seemed real. It seemed authentic to both women that they actually did miss one another and that this was a real moment for them to like squash what they had going on and just move forward. You know what I mean? So it's the next day, and we find out that it's Stanberry's birthday. She's on the phone with Sergio, and they are talking about the whole situation with Ayan. And Stanberry's really upset. She's like, man, me and Chanel were on a better path, and now it's the pits, She's really mad at me about this voice note situation, and I hate that. So she's like, I'm going to have a meeting with her or just a sit down where it's just us without the other girls. So we then see Ayan getting her head shaved by Tony and talking about the same situation where she's like, I let Stanberry in and she do this to me. Like, I don't let nobody, like, I'm just like, girl. And I hate this because Ayan really has me like rethinking and actually siding with Sarah when it came to episode 1. Because episode 1, I was really on Ayan's side. Because I do feel like Sarah is fake and she's phony. And this whole healing thing, I think she thinks she's very judgmental. Like, it's just like the spiritual, like she's just very judgy. And I'm just like, something about Sarah just feels like a facade to me, And I'm just kind of like, what Sarah said about her in the interview about Ayan victimizing herself, I think she was right because I still don't get how you're mad at Lisa and Stanberry when you are the one that shared the voice note. Now, granted, Lisa to me is patient zero. You broke Sarah's trust by giving the voice note to Ayan. Ayan broke your trust by playing it for Stanberry. And in a way, I thought Stanberry broke Ayan's trust. But after that sit down and they played that flashback, Ayan is full of it. That lady full of it. So they all pile into the car so they can go to their various destinations. We see the girls with the ATVs. They gone, having a good time. It was cute to see Talene and Brooks get along, acting like cowboys. Next thing you know, while they on the ATVs, they getting run down by cows. And mind you, I've been ATV riding, but like they have a set path, and it looked like it was a set path. So I don't know if the cows like migrated to the path, or if like the path is a part of the cow's path. I don't know. They were scared, and I'd have been scared too. But I think the cows were also scared because they was like, what is this and who are you? You're in my home, okay? So we see Ayan and Stanberry in the car. Mind you, Stanberry is trying to have like small talk with Ayan. Ayan just looking out the window like, not saying a word to that lady, just giving her the silent treatment. Bad. So then they finally get to the swing, and I love the pictures that people take in the swing when they're in like a beautiful dress. Love it. Okay, just love it. And so while they're there, Stanberry basically is like, I would have never asked you to play or put you out there on Front Street if I knew the voice note came from Lisa, because I don't want to get in between that relationship. Ayan is like, I was so mad at you because we built this trust, and why would you do me like this? But then when they played the flashback, I was like, you're full of it, because they play the same flashback where we actually saw Ayan play the voice note, where it's her, Talene, and Brooke, not Brooks, her, Talene, and Stanberry sitting down, and you hear Ayan be like, girl, if I keep drinking with y'all, I get messy when I drink, pretty much like that. And they're like, oh, we should play it in Bali. And just to poke fun at Sarah and Brooks, like, just to let them know what's up. And so I'm like, so you knew y'all were going to play it in Bali, or you knew they suggested to play it in Bali. So why weren't you prepared for that? And then it makes me go back to when they were on the yacht together, and Stanberry and Ayan were having a private conversation, and Stanberry asked Ayan, yo, are you talk to Sarah? What about Sarah? So you knew it was coming. And I feel like what Lisa said about production splitting them up, I actually think is actually true now. I think Ayan knew that it was going to go down at that lunch, because when Talene said, oh, so we doing this right now? I feel like they knew it was coming. I feel like they knew it was coming, and Ayan was trying to tell Lisa before it popped off, but she production split them up, so she didn't have time to. And I feel like you should have just called your friend that day and told her, girl, I played it. So then Ayan is like, I've never had anyone say they would never trust me again. And then Ayan ends up, I don't know how she morphed it in her head, where she was like, maybe my anger towards Stanberry is me being angry at Lisa for the way that she, being upset and frustrated at the new behavior I'm seeing from my friend. That doesn't make any sense to me. That makes no sense to me, because legit to me, that makes no sense to me. You played the voice note. You didn't tell Lisa that you shared the voice note with Talene and Stanberry. Her telling you, girl, I can never trust you again, is a warrant response to where she's like, girl, I trusted you with the voice note and you broke my trust. I don't get how you're a victim. And I also don't get why you're mad at Stanberry. I think because now that I know that y'all had that conversation about using the voice note to bust Brooks and to really bust Sarah out, it's like, what are you mad at her? Because you were fine with it before. Maybe you weren't. I think you were more upset at the fact that Lisa came at you and you weren't ready for that because you didn't think she would do you like that. But how was she supposed to react to you exposing that information that she trusted you with? Ayan not making sense. She is not making sense. I don't know how we morph this into you being a Lisa problem and a Stanberry problem. And like Stanberry said in her confessional, Ayan is more mad at herself than anything. She really is. And you should probably sit with that and unpack why you're mad at yourself, instead of making it everybody else's problem. Everybody comes back from their excursions. They're all talking about how they have a really nice time. Things seem to be better. So then we see Seba and Sarah having a conversation. So pretty much Akai don't want Sarah to do this podcast, but the podcast is offering her $45,000 just to be on the podcast. But he's pretty much saying that he doesn't want her to do it because the athlete that is hosting the podcast is a man that is always shirtless, and I guess he has a crazy lifestyle. And I'm like, who is Akai to be telling anybody to do what? Your moniker is still Sarah's exclusive friend. You not her husband, you not her man. And even if you were her man, you're not gonna be telling that lady what to do. And I love how Seba was like, does he pay your bills? Does he pay your child's bills? Then who is he? Who is he? And then Sarah's like, why you get mad at me? And Seba's like, I'm not mad at you. I want to call him and cuss him out because what is he talking about? And I'm with Seba, how you calling shots and we're not even husband and wife, sir. On top of that, why would you want her to walk away from $45,000 just to do an hour of a podcast? That doesn't make sense. I don't know where this is coming from, but I told y'all them light-skinned, blue-eyed, the green-eyed demons gonna mess your life up. He fine to look at, but not to be with, because that doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. So Seba was over it. So we get to the lady setting up for Stanberry's party. Like, they're putting up streamers and everything. Everybody's wondering where is Brooks, because she's supposed to be doing it. Lo and behold, the lady is in the bathroom throwing up and pooping out her guts because she's lactose intolerant. But I think they had got catering, and because they hadn't eaten all day, Brooks is like, I'm gonna just have to eat this. But she paid for it. That's like my daddy. My daddy is lactose intolerant. He is not supposed to eat ice cream, but he will get it anyway and just be like, I'll deal with the consequences later. He's like, I'm gonna eat my ice cream. So it was a mess. Next thing you know, Stanberry has these dildos. They're wooden dildos. Seba and Sarah are like, girl, what? But I guess in Bali, you see that imagery all the time. What's it called? Stanberry is up saying that, like, in Bali, like, it's like a spiritual thing. Like, it's supposed to mean like power and all this other stuff. I said, okay, but the dildo she had were can openers. We find out that you cannot have those type sex toys in Dubai. Like, if you bring them over, they confiscate them. And I think Lisa said, no, my vibrator got confiscated. Girl, what? You can't even do yourself. You can't even get a rose. Girl, that's crazy. That's crazy. So all the girls pile into the room together. We end up finding out that Sarah got a palm reader to come and read everybody's fortune. So when it came to her fortune, because when they were reading the palms and all that stuff, the lady basically told her, take a year off and and start reworking about like your fame and fortune in the family. But there's a man that's around you that means good. Seba was like, a kind. I said, damn, girl. Why you putting her business out there? And Sarah's like, Seba, girl, my business. Then they did Ayan's palm, and they said she was going to be successful and all of this good stuff. And everyone's like, girl, we getting bad palm reading, and this lady telling like success and happiness for you. We then get to Talene, and they basically said there's a woman around you that don't mean you no good. And everyone's like, Brooks. I said, damn. The lady's like, she brings you a lot of sadness. And I mean, that could be Brooks, or that could be somebody we ain't met. So then she does Stanberry. And Stanberry, they do her palm, and they end up being like, oh, I see a family, like a baby in your future. Everybody's like, what? And the lady's like, a boy. And everyone's like, what? And Stanberry's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Because that's the embryo they have on ice is a boy. Lisa is like, she don't believe it. Because she's like, that lady is never having a baby. And her face, Lisa do not like Stan. Like, that face was scrunched up. Like, she had her drink. I don't believe it. She do not like that lady. She do not like that lady. She don't like her. Okay. But I kind of agree with Lisa. Like, if a year from now we find out that Stanberry is pregnant, I will be so shocked and stunned. I really would be, because I feel like I just don't see her having a baby. Like, she does not seem like she wants that. And I think that's okay for her not to want to have another child. But I just feel like Sergio is just holding on for dear life, hoping that she gonna give him a baby. And I just don't think that's gonna happen. I really feel like if they want another child, surrogacy. But they don't do surrogacy in Dubai. But that's what I think should happen. So then Brooks finally makes it. They're like, girl, where were you at? She's like, girl, pooping out my soul, okay? Throwing up, like vomiting. She was like, I can't be doing no more dairy. So then the lady reads Lisa's palm, and the lady pretty much says, like, you're very, very busy. And she's like, you need to open yourself up more, Open your heart, open your mind. Stop holding in on to like negative emotions. And I agree with that, because you can tell that Lisa is the type of person that like she wants to be superwoman, so she takes on so many tasks instead of just like delegating them to people. We saw that in the previous episodes, even with how she does like Mina Rose, like she is very like hands on. So like I think what the lady said was correct right there. Then she did Stanberry's, and not Stanberry, Brooks, and the lady said, you know, the money is coming. So I think that might have gave her some relief, because you know how she been stressed about the glass house. She also said that like you need to find ways to control your emotions, and she said the same thing with Lisa. She said you need some medicine, some medication. I said, you telling her right. She do need some medicine and medication. Everybody started screaming and laughing because they was like, girl, you do. So then the palm reader leaves and everyone goes into the dining room to sit down at the table, and they bring out cupcakes. They finally got Ayan's age based off of what she did with her teeth. Now, mind you, I'm like, do they not have HIPAA over there? Because how her friend know her information? But maybe the husband knew and then they gave it to him. I don't know. But I was just like, maybe Ayan filled out paperwork to say like, yeah, you could give it to her. So they bring out this tray, and it is cupcakes, pretty much, with from numbers 45 to 50. And so basically Ayan can pick from each one. And I figured that that's what her age range was. Like, I think when they did it, I want to say in that episode or that review, I think I said she like no more than like, I feel like she was no more than like 40, like 45. I thought maybe it was a little younger. Like, because Ayan don't give me 30. She gives me like 40 and above. So if I was her, I would pick 45, because I guess she's been telling everyone she's 42, so she wasn't that far off to begin with. And so, you know, everyone's laughing. Stanberry's excited because she was like, I'm not that old anymore. Because I think Stanberry is like 47 now. So she's basically like, Ayan, girl, we basically the Golden Girls together. Stanberry is drunk as hell. Okay. She been drinking up that champagne. She drunk as hell. So they sit down at the table. Lisa gives a speech about how happy she is about the trip, how they had ups and downs, but they had more ups than downs. Talene is talking about how happy she was that her and Brooks had a good time and like were able to move forward. Brooks is like looking drunk as hell. I don't know if she is drunk or if she is tired because she threw up her stomach in the bathroom or pooped it out, but she looked tired. So then she's like, okay, y'all, it's time to party. So they get up and they have a DJ outside. Everyone's dancing and twerking. And Brooks in her confessional was like, she is actually surprised that her and Talene and Stanberry are having a good time, because she said ultimately her issue with Stanberry was because of how she spoke about Talene. And Talene, she felt like Talene, you know, played her to the left, but she missed her and she feels like this is where they need to be. Next thing you know, Stanberry jumps into the pool. Mind you, I thought the lady was going to fall into the pool, but she timed it right and she fell on top of like the inflatable flamingo, and everyone's laughing at her. She got a drink in hand too. She was drunk. They all dancing and having a good time. And pretty much Lisa ends up saying like, you know, the episode basically ends with her being like, Ayan and I were able to forgive each other, but I'll never forget what happened. And what's interesting is, it seems like Ayan and Lisa have been friends for like maybe at least 6 or 7 years. And then we have Talene and Brooks 10 years. And what's funny is they both end up saying, like, all of them end up saying, like, this is the worst fight we have ever had in this 10 years of friendship, or however many years of friendship for Lisa and Ayan. And I'm just like, dang, this show had y'all beefing like this. Okay. Or really, Stanberry had y'all beefing like this because y'all can't figure out how y'all want to act around this lady. But yeah, they ended it. I thought the trip looked like it was a good time. I feel like it's been a long time since we had a Real Housewives trip and people are having fun. Like, normally with the Real Housewives trip we've been seeing, it's met with like there's drama, but the drama overshadows everything. This actually looked like they were having fun and drama happened. Not like they were on a trip, didn't have fun, and it was just full of drama. You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and my God, definitely drop down in them comments below. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.